Welcome to Visit Extended Channel. I'm continuing to introduce ANQ Congress under Quality Academics series. Today, I would like to introduce the 8th AC Level for Quality ANQ Congress 2010. Before I introduce it, I would like to introduce the ANQ members and associate and partner organizations. There are about 20 associations under 17 country and economic area join together to form Asia Level for Quality. And every year we have the important event is called ANQ Congress. It will be held by each member in different economic area and country every year. So today it's a hold in India again. The 8th ANQ Congress was organized by Indian Society for Quality in New Delhi from 19th to 12th to September 2010, and the theme is Quality for Inclusive Growth of Asia. I have submitted my paper and attended this Congress. However, I have some problem at that time. I cannot join. However, I would like to share my paper and presentation. My presentation topic is risk management of information security FMEA Circle. 5 years later, I used the same presentation shared to HKQAA on for the experience sharing talk. It is my presentation. Now I would like to present again. In the context, I will talk about the risk management history, some terminology of risk management, different risk management approach, and selection of risk management tools, case study. For example, information security, safety management, and environmental management system. You embodied risk management, and then conclusion. The history of risk management is the risk management is recognized as an integrated part of good management practice, and the earliest national standard is AS and N is S 4360, 1995 risk management. It is the earliest national standard I meet. It's very famous from Australia and New Zealand. And then the significant milestone I have summarized in the following table. If you would like to see more information, you can see this link. From 19th century, there are some accidents. So with the enroll or human life problem from since 19,000 and 1905, etc. And then until 1995, this standard are established AS 4360 from different countries will be referenced it, and then up to 2001 is the very famous 911 event. It's also risk management. After that, there are several national and international standards related to risk management were reviewed. For example, ARMED IRM 2002, ISO 27005, BS 31100, and also it is very important is ISO 31000. What is the objective of risk management? It is providing a generic framework for establishing the context, identification, analysis, evaluation, treatment, monitoring, and communication of risk. It is a traditional framework, and process is a very traditional. After this one, many different standards are referenced from here and vary from this framework. It's a very simple framework started from establish the context, identify risk, analysis risk, evaluation risk, treatment of risk, and for each stage we will have the communicate and consulting, and also monitoring and review. Another is similarly is how to do the risk how after your evaluate event. For example, you accept the risk or reduce its likelihood, consequence, or transfer in part or in full, or avoid it. It is a treatment plan. It is some major element, but I'm not explain too much about step by step. But each step they have in the standard have some description to express what is it inside. And some example for risk definition and classification. For example, for qualitative, there are 5 levels for the impact and consequence. For example, insignificant, minor, moderate, major, catastrophic. It's a high stage. Or in the likelihood, it's almost certain, likely, possible, unlikely, or rare. After evaluation, the consequence and likelihood, you can identify the risk level: extreme risk, high risk, moderate risk, and low risk, like this table. It is a very fundamental evaluation and employed in many industries. And several organizations in UK, for example, Institute of Risk Management, Association of the Institute of Risk Management, and also some National Forum of Risk Management, they have also published their own standard. However, they are all employed AS 4360 framework. You can see it's very similarly, maybe additional some residual risk reporting, etc. There's some modification of the basic on Australia standard. And with description, identification, some another industrial specification. For example, in information security, they will use the ISO 17005. For medical device, they will use ISO 14971. For pharmaceutical industry, they will use ICHQ line with quality risk management. You can see risk management for information security, ISO 17005 is a similarly model compared with the Australia standard. They also use the Pen Do Check Act for the whole implementation. And their quantitative risk analysis method matrix is like this one. Separates much more and detail in here, and also 5 stage, and then for this impact and the likelihood. The risk treatment activity also similarly reduce the risk, retain the risk, avoid the risk, or risk transfer, etc. And it is represented by ISO 14971. There's a risk assessment, risk evaluation, risk control, risk management reporting, and post-product information, etc. So different. ICHQ line is a more similar risk assessment, risk control, risk review in here, and some management tools here. If unaccept that again, and risk communication also important. Now, at that time when I joined the conference, it is a new standard, ISO 13209. It's a new international standard for risk management. They have the principle and generic guideline on risk management, and they define the risk as effect of uncertainty on objectives. There are some risk management principles. For example, it creates and protects values. It's an integral part of all organization process. It's a part of decision making. Capacity address uncertainty. It's a systematic, structured, and timely. It's based on the best available information, and also it is tailor-made and takes human and culture factor into account, especially in health and safety occupation risk. Transparent and inclusive, dynamic, iterative, and responsive to change, and facilitates continued improvement of the organization. And the process is the same as the Australia standard. The totally different is a holistic point of view of risk management. They involve principle, involve framework, plan, do, check, act, involve process. So it is overall summarized risk management in ISO standard. Another code of practice more detailed in the BS 31100. And some risk management techniques employed, especially in medical device and pharmaceutical, they will use hazard analysis, preliminary hazard analysis, fault tree analysis, failure mode and effective analysis, hazard and operability study, hazard analysis and critical control point (HACCP). In the standard BS 1100, they are identify different tools and their characteristic, identification, assessment, and response. And I'm focused on the failure mode and effective analysis. They're both identification and assessment. So here, and also identify they can use for risk identification, risk analysis, evaluation, and risk treatment and decision making here. So at the end, it is summarized that there are two important key elements that conclude. First, they have the plan to check act framework. Second, 4 stages of risk management process are identified in almost all risk management standard, includes the identification of context, identification of risk, analysis and evaluation of risk, and identification and documentation of the risk treatment. And ISO 31000 involves both key elements inside. Now, I'm sure some case study in my company for occupational health and safety is OSHA 18001. We also use the Australia standard risk management as a reference in our laboratory environment. We can I use this table to evaluate the risk. For example, every process I separate the man, machine, material, method, and environment, and evaluation the risk in the hazard. What is the source? If injury or ill health, any injury or ill health possible, the consequence level and likelihood levels. Use this one. The second, this is for identification. I'm also use the table here. And then for information security, we use the FMEA like this one. It is a more detailed describe FMEA in each column. And we also combined use the information security FMEA based risk assessment process. Like this one, use the plan to check act FMEA Circle to establish identified risk, evaluate risk, and also treatment review. One of different is that we establish information access evaluation. Each information access we consider the CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, and identify the class and the access owner response. If it is class A, is a very important access, we need to take some protection procedure. The most important is calculate the risk priority number based on their severity, occurrence, and detectability. Here, like this one. After that, it is the process. We have to do the different process. If a new process, we go again, go through the FMEA circle again, so as to improve or increase the information security level every time. It is the implementation for 7 cycles. We have the 7 cycle, and each time we have to use this circle to review the all activity and its risk level again. And from 2007 to 2014. At the end, we would like to conclude use the secure is the key to improve information security management system. Example, as mean standardization, effectiveness, clearance, unique identification, recovery, and efficiency. And due to Q&A, I use the Deming. They say good quality asset. That means brought out of crisis. That is the key point. Okay, it's a thank you. Even though I haven't joined the Gardiner, I used the last year ISQ team. They had sing and song, very happy. And during this time, it's the first time of Ichikawa Kano Award. Professor Kano gives the award to Professor Akao. Akao is the first winner of the Ichikawa Award in the Congress, ANQ Congress, New Delhi 2010. After a year, he visited Hong Kong, so our Hong Kong Society for Quality after lunch with Professor Kano, Dr. Chin, Dr. Wong, and I with Professor Kano and Mrs. Kano, Akao. Yeah. If you would like to see more about my paper, I have shared in the research guide, risk management of information security and information security FMEA Circle. So at the end, I would like to introduce the IQ academics in Hong Kong are very active in different international activity conference to share different quality research and knowledge. Okay, thank you for your attention. See you in next time. Bye.